How's it going, everybody, and welcome to a Super Nintendo World discussion. Oh my god, I'm surprised this hasn't happened in the last 3 years, basically since the channel started, because this has basically been in the works and announced since then. Anyway, I'm finally glad to be talking about Super Nintendo World, but I am not alone. I am joined by...
Lady Gear to you.
And like I said, Super Nintendo World has been basically confirmed for years now, so it's a wonder how it took so long. There was a recent General Direct, but this is more so a general discussion about the land in Universal itself. So yeah, let's just get things started.
Alright, so the first question, how are you feeling about Super Nintendo World in general?
So, I vividly remember when Super Nintendo World was announced for the first time. There was a press release, obviously, but I remember the first teaser trailer for Super Nintendo World showing Mario going into the pipe and leaping out into the courtyard for Peach's castle with a bunch of people, and I just fell in love with it right away. I couldn't believe that something I grew up with, essentially, was going to be a real-life thing in a theme park. Like, that just blew my mind, and I'm honestly shocked it took so long, but I'm very glad Nintendo's finally let loose in recent years, and now we're gonna have not only the theme parks, but they're partnering with Universal on a Mario movie. So yeah, I was super excited when it was first announced, and I can't wait. I really, really, really can't wait.
Oh, why can't 2024 come sooner? But yeah, Super Nintendo World looks absolutely incredible. Like, I remember growing up with the Disney parks and always being super excited whenever a new ride would appear, and I'm getting that kind of nostalgia here as well, even though I haven't actually been there yet. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. My inner Disney nerd kind of wish that it opened at a Disney park, but I'd happily go to Universal Park if it means I can walk around the Mario World and things like that. This just looks absolutely incredible. Just everything I'm seeing about it looks amazing. I'm so excited. And the next question, what do you think of Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge and Yoshi's Adventure Attractions?
So, at the time we're recording this, we don't know necessarily everything, or at least I don't think you know everything. I've been kind of keeping up with all of the rumors and ride patents and all that stuff, so I kind of have an idea what these rides are about. And honestly, I cannot wait to experience these. I'm already gonna spoil myself when the quote-unquote embargo lifts for the Japan version in early February, and I'm gonna be one of the first ones, at least I hope, to watch the ride POVs. I wanna experience it in some way right now, so I can't wait. The Yoshi ride sounds like it's gonna be fun. You know, it's gonna be the family Omnimover ride. And apparently it's gonna have Captain Toad in it, and we can never escape Captain Toad, so no surprise Captain Toad's gonna be in a Universal attraction. And then the Mario Kart ride, just the views we've seen of the queue, and I've seen an extended queue video. I know I linked it one time on Twitter. I don't know if you explicitly saw it, but the queue, top-notch. Universal have... I know people say this when Disney does it and Universal does it, but with these queues, like, their experiences all of their own. Like, the queue for Mario Kart looks absolutely fantastic, and it just gets me even more excited to experience the ride, and I just can't wait. Both of these rides look fantastic. I cannot wait to experience them in one way or the other, coming up in the next year.
Yeah, I didn't know that Captain Toad was part of the Yoshi one, so that makes me really excited. I don't know much about the Yoshi Adventure ride, aside from the Omnimover thingy and now Captain Toad. The Mario Kart one is the one I'm looking forward to the most, because, like, being able to actually be in a Mario Kart car, that's just really incredible to think about. It sounds like how it's going to work is that you'll have the glasses on, and it's like some kind of AR system where you'll be able to throw items at other rider cars and things like that. And My first thought hearing that was this is going to be kind of a pain for people to record POV videos with. So I'm pretty sure that when the POV videos actually do come out, it's not going to look nearly as impressive as it would be when you're actually writing it for yourself. But I'm really excited for the Kart ride. The queue looks absolutely incredible. I love all the trophies they have there. The Universal trophy too. That one looks really neat as well. My one concern with it is typically for rides like this that have incredible queues like that, the disability queue isn't really all that great. It's just kind of boring. So I hope they have the same level of care in the disabled queue as they have in the regular one. I was like more about the accessibility of Super Nintendo World a little bit later because I have a lot of thoughts on that. But all in all, I'm really looking forward to this. And the next question, what do you think of the power-up bands?
Well, I love them and I hate them because not I love them because they're gonna have a bunch of activities that you can use within the lands, so that's exciting. What I'm not most excited for is that because they're technically Amiibo, I'm gonna have to collect every single one of them, and I believe they're all $30 each. So that's not gonna be very fun. But yeah, the power-up bands, I love the interactivity within the land, the kinetic energies with the power-up activities. So exciting. I'm glad that they contrived all of that stuff into another experience because they have that Bowser Jr. boss battle for getting all the keys in the land, or at least like 3 or 5 or something. So that's going to be super fun. I love the interactivity with the power-up bands. And yeah, it's just gonna be a bit of a hassle because I'm gonna want to end up collecting them all. Obviously, I'll go with Mario first because Mario's the number one guy, so definitely gonna go with that. But yeah, it's I like the power-up bands. Very, very nice. A lot better than the Super Mario cereal too for Amiibo usage. So A+ in my book.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because like this kind of continues the trend of just the most random object in the world being turned into an amiibo. So yeah, this hurts my wallet because I want to get every single one of them, but it's going to be super expensive, especially when these are only going to be available in Japan for a couple years. So yeah, I believe each individual power-up band is also an amiibo for that respective character as well. So that's going to be pretty neat too. It makes me wonder if they'll have them for the other Mario characters as well. Like maybe down the line we'll get the Rosalina power band or something along those lines. That'd be pretty neat. I do kind of wish that they would do something similar to what the cereal box amiibo does in Mario Odyssey, because in Super Mario Odyssey, if you scan the cereal box, it calls it the Delicious amiibo. So it'd be really cute if the power-up bands you scan them in Odyssey and it'll say something like the super duper fun amiibo or something like that. I don't know, but that'd just be really cute if they did that. And I absolutely love the interactivity that they have for this place because you can just imagine how excited people are going to be to just like punch that question block and it does something in the environment. That's just going to be really mind blowing for a lot of people, myself included. Next question, do you have any thoughts on the Canopio's Cafe restaurant?
Really quick before I answer that, I do want to go back to the interactivity thing. Like you said, the punching the block stuff. God, Universal's probably going to have to replace those every year because there's going to be a lot of punching going on. And I hope they are fairly soft because, you know, even for adults and kids, it's over time, if you punch like a bunch of them around the lane, it's going to be a little wearing. But also, I'm interested to know because there's hidden Pikmin around Super Nintendo World. I don't know if you knew that or not, but there's going to be hidden Pikmin around the land. I wonder if any of those will be interactive, because that would be very fun. Maybe in those AR binoculars that are around the land. I assume those Pikmin will be in those, but yeah, the interactivity in this land is just off the charts. So going to Toad's Cafe, Canopio's Cafe, it actually looks very good. The glimpses we've seen of the food through the direct that happened, it looks very good. The burger looks great. Obviously, for me, I'd get it without cheese. I know, I'm weird. And then there's the pasta bowl that's shaped like a mushroom. I think everything in the land has mushrooms in it in the food, so there's that. There's also the popcorn. There's caramel peach popcorn and mushroom popcorn. At least in Japan, it'll probably be everywhere, but like Canopio's Cafe. I also love the interactive Chef Toad. It's amazing. I hope it's even more interactive than what we saw with Miyamoto. I assume it's just stationary what we saw, but it'd be cool if it was a little, it was a little more personal. But yeah, Canopio's Cafe looks great. I love how big it looks, especially because you don't expect it from the outside. It just looks like a normal Toad house, but because everything is like shoved into little, like everything's kind of hidden under all the interactive stuff, you can see a big dining room, and it's just so weird, the perspective of that. But the menu looks fantastic. I can't wait to try out most of the foods there, because there's some other stuff that we didn't technically see, like some rice dish that's made out like a superstar. That was a quick glimpse on the menu in the direct. Looks really, really good. And I want to just see everything it has to offer. And I hope the food will be delicious. I mean, it looks delicious, so hopefully it'll taste that way too.
I'm a sucker for a heavily themed restaurant like that, so seeing that was like probably like one of the biggest highlights of that Super Nintendo World Direct. There's one minor nitpick that I have. I really wish that it was a yellow toad who greeted you in the restaurant, because they have a character in Origami King, I believe, named Seth Canopio, who's a yellow toad, but the one from the restaurant's red, so it's not that big of a deal. But I really love the idea that you can look into the windows and see all the toads preparing your food. It reminds me of that one restaurant that almost appeared in Disney Hollywood Studios. There was originally going to be a Muppet-themed restaurant where you'd see the rat Muppets preparing your food and things like that, and they'd have the little rat animatronics carry your food out. So that makes me wonder if like the waiters or waitresses, they'll come out in like toad costumes and things like that. That'd be really cool, but I kind of doubt they'd do that, because that'd be kind of a pain to navigate with the costume character and things like that. But man, the food looks amazing. I need that burger in my mouth right now. So the next question, what do you think of the Nintendo Store from what we've seen so far?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to go broke in this land, whether it's through getting all the power-up bands or trying out all the food. For some reason, I'm more interested in the hats for some reason. Obviously, the overall sweatshirt zip-up hoodie thing is pretty cool. I'll probably get the Mario one, but like, the hats, like the blooper hat, Bowser hat, Chain Chomp hat, I don't know why, those interest me the most out of the shop. Obviously, there's probably going to be some more stuff we haven't seen yet also, but they're pretty standard items, I would say. They don't really go too crazy, except for the special toy that's they have, the Tokomo toy, or however that's pronounced, I apologize, with the Mario wind-up with the shell, or not really a wind-up, but you walk it with the shell, or the one in the pipe, which I don't remember if it does anything else. I think it's just standing in the pipe or something. I don't remember, but yeah, it's a pretty generic store, I would say. But yeah, for me, I guess I'm the most interested in all the various hats that are gonna have to offer, and I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot in the store that really interests me personally, aside from maybe that one toy. I do think it's kind of a bad idea to make exclusive merch for that store at a time where not a lot of people will be able to go to Nintendo World for a little while. But you just know that the stuff in that store is going to skyrocket on eBay and Amazon and all that stuff. So hopefully it's not exclusive for too long. I really hope there's an Amiibo section. There needs to be an Amiibo section in that store. I don't care if I have most of the Amiibos that they would sell there already. I need to be in an Amiibo section in this place.
What if they start offering custom, like, exclusive Amiibo in an Amiibo section in the store?
Oh, that'd be cool. That like they could have the Toad Amiibo, but they'd attach like a headlamp on and make it Captain Toad.
Yeah, like they could have exclusive Captain Toad Amiibos. They could have Chef Toad Amiibo.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Like, oh man, we're getting way too ahead of ourselves right now. They're probably not gonna have any of this, but
yeah, I know, but it's just fun to talk about.
Yeah. If there's only like one that I would specifically want aside from the Captain Toad. I'd really love to see like a Goomba Tower amiibo like they have in Mario Odyssey, because I think that'd be really cool. um, but yeah, if there's only one amiibo that's like actually real and not something we're making up, then please have the Mario box amiibo there, the cereal box, because the one that I got, the amiibo chip was broken, and I've not been able to find another one since. Anyway, the next question. What do you think of the Donkey Kong expansion rumors? This, for heads up for people watching, this may be spoilers for things down the line, but these rumors are everywhere, so who cares?
Well, if you're like me and you've been paying attention to all the like site plan stuff and even some videos by Alicia Stella at Theme Park Stop, then you already know that it's happening basically, especially in Japan and for Orlando Super Nintendo World, because it was in the concept art for Epic Universe. The Donkey Kong Land I think looks fantastic from the little model that's available online to see. It's gonna feature obviously new elements because Super Nintendo World was planned for like 6 years, so it's like the more recent Donkey Kong stuff. But Rambi's gonna be there. Ellie the elephant from the original trilogy is gonna be in it. She's like peeking out through some bushes in part of the land in the little model. The roller coaster sounds fantastic. I'm excited for that because Universal don't really have many coasters, at least in Orlando. I haven't been to any of the other ones, so. But yeah, seeing a new roller coaster, especially the concept of the coaster, because it'll be like a kind of an illusion type thing where we'll be obviously in a minecart train, and there will be another like coaster thing attached to it, and it'll have things that make it seem like we're jumping over gaps in our cart, which is going to be fantastic. It's apparently going to have animatronics and show scenes, so that's going to be exciting too. I'm really looking forward to Donkey Kong, and I really, really hope that Epic Universe starts back up production, or they decide to finally just go back to the original plan and get rid of Kid Zone, because I really, really need Super Nintendo World right now.
Yeah. Oh, this just sounds so awesome. That roller coaster, I'm glad you brought that up. I am so excited for that. Because, like, how it seems like they're going to handle that on a technical aspect is that the ride's going to be built on two layers of track. The one that's actually attached to the car would be on the bottom one, and the top one would be like a showpiece, so it looks like you're jumping over gaps and things like that. Oh, it's just so cool. And I don't know how they could do this, but I would absolutely love if they had some kind of sawmill thrills aspects in this coaster as well, like you go into the water too. I think they have some kind of they have something similar to that with the Jurassic Park rides. I doubt they'll do that for Donkey Kong, but man, I'm not even that big of a fan of the Donkey Kong Country games. Like, I haven't played a whole lot of them, but this idea just sounds so cool.
There is a waterfall as part of the like outside of the coaster, but we are going to be blasting through a barrel apparently, so that's super exciting.
Ah! That's so cool! Alright, so one more lane of thought. They need to be careful with the King K. Rool costume character, because that thing is going to scare kids if they don't do it right.
Believing that they'll actually include the K. Rool character in that world.
Oh, man. Anyway. How do you think the Orlando or California versions will be different from the one opening in Japan?
Well, we technically already know the differences for each one. So Orlando's is going to have everything. Not like Japan, at least not right now. There is area that Universal Japan has already allotted, and I think there's minor construction for the Donkey Kong Land that started in Japan, so obviously that'll probably appear in Japan in like 2023. Hollywood is going to have the least out of all the 4 parks. It's going to have pretty much just Mario Kart and like the small courtyard, and that's probably it, and maybe the cafe, which is disappointing, but they don't really have a lot of room to work with in Universal Hollywood, because there's like a golf course that they don't own nearby, so for the lower lot at least, so they don't really have much to work with, which is unfortunate, but maybe in the future they can do something, maybe take away some ride in the lower lot, or something in the upper lot and add an expansion there. But Orlando is going to be getting Mario, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and there's a bunch of rumors out there that a Zelda land is coming for Islands of Adventure to replace Lost Continent, and Pokemon might be in the Kid Zone. Nobody really knows, but yeah, Orlando's probably going to end up having the biggest of them all, though, anyway, even if some of these things like Zelda and Pokemon don't happen until, like, I don't know, 2030 or something, but I think Orlando's probably going to end up with the biggest of all of everything. But yeah, it's super exciting. And then Singapore is the other one that's getting it. I think it's just what Japan is getting, so pretty much the only one, and Orlando, so pretty much the only land that isn't that great is Hollywood, which sucks, but oddly enough, that'll probably be open maybe in like either late 2021 or early 2022, so I'd still be willing to go just to experience Mario Kart.
Yeah, you dirty East Coasters are getting all the good stuff. Yeah, I guess this might be a better, more appropriate question for the more appropriate comment for the next question, but hearing that Zelda thing's making me think. So you know how in Universal Orlando they have the Harry Potter train that takes you from the Hogwarts world to Diagon Alley between the two parks?
Uh-huh.
So if this is true with the Zelda thing, what do you think they'll do to transport guests between the Zelda land in Islands of Adventure and Super Nintendo World at Universal's Epic Universe?
They wouldn't be able to because Epic Universe is a couple miles away from the other two parks.
Just imagine this is all entirely up to you. You own everything in Florida. It's all entirely up to you, so...
Well, I'd probably just build a complete Nintendo park instead of separating everything, so...
Fair enough. So... how I'd see the transportation between them, I would imagine like a monorail system similar to what they do at Walt Disney World, except the monorail would be themed for the train. They'd see the Attraction Tour train from Nintendo Land, and that would take you between the two areas. Now that might be a pain to do realistically because, like you said, they are a couple miles away from each other. But who cares? This is Nintendo. Go all in. Even if you never make a profit, go all in. It has to be the greatest thing in the world.
To be fair, Comcast and Universal's going all out for Epic Universe in itself anyway, because they're like adding a whole new road just for buses to get to the theme park and stuff. So if they wanted to, they could update those plans and maybe add a train or monorail or something, but I don't know. I think it would probably not be worth the investment, considering they already spent so much just to secure the Nintendo property, and they still haven't started really building Epic Universe yet. So...
Epic Universe could probably be like its own discussion on its own, but it's not Nintendo related, so we're gonna pretend it doesn't exist.
I mean, it is Nintendo related. It'll have the Super Nintendo World in it.
They could have made the entire theme park Nintendo, but no, they had to include other stuff.
I mean, Universal's been trying to add classic monsters to the theme parks forever, so at least they finally get to do it with Epic Universe.
Getting sidetracked a little bit, I find it funny that they're making this park with so many of these other things in it, because it kind of seems like they saw that Disney was buying a bunch of stuff that was already in their parks, like Marvel and The Simpsons and things like that, and they were like, okay, let's build a whole other park with a bunch of other stuff they can never touch.
Pretty much. That does remind me, though, before we... I know we're staying sidetracked, but if Universal doesn't extend their contract for The Simpsons eventually, in like, I don't know, a couple years I think it's up, it'd be pretty cool if they rethemed Simpsons area to Animal Crossing, because that'd kind of actually work. If they made it Animal Crossing, they can just, you know, put different facades on buildings and it can be an Animal Crossing town.
Ooh, that'd be really cool. Do you think that affects like the actual Simpsons ride itself though? Because that's like a motion simulator attraction thing.
Uh, maybe they'd probably demolish it honestly, and maybe put something else there. I don't know.
Because if they were keeping it as is, but just retheming everything, my first thought for some reason was that it'd be rethemed to like a Wario themed movie ride. I don't know how that would work, but that was just my first thought.
To be fair,
So,
they could do a lot of stuff if they kept it a motion simulator ride and just rethemed the outside area and the queues and stuff. Like, they can make it... Like, if they made an Animal Crossing town out of Simpsons Land and then just had an extra extension of a Nintendo property to the side of it, next to it, like, they can make it a Star Fox motion simulator, a Kid Icarus motion simulator, a Kirby simulator. Like, there's a lot they could actually do with that.
yeah. Alright, the next question, this is probably the question we're going to be spending like an hour or so on, to be honest. What Nintendo attractions would you like to see in the future?
Well, I pretty much just said a bunch of stuff. But going back to the thing I mentioned earlier about site plan stuff, like a really, really early site plan for Super Nintendo World to replace Kid Zone, listed a little Kirby Playland, it had extra stuff in the Mario area, like a Luigi's Mansion thing. It had like a Bowser's Airship thing too in that show building. Obviously the Zelda Hyrule Kingdom. There was a Pokemon Training Academy, I think, in those plans as well, way back then, before they even secured the rights. So there's just a whole bunch of things they can do. Obviously, Pokemon, Zelda, Kirby, Metroid, Animal Crossing. There are so many different options that they can do with different ride concepts. Like, there's so many different things you can think of and endless possibilities. Like, personally, I think I would enjoy, it's a little hard to explain it. Well, it's not necessarily too hard. I think a dark ride for Pikmin by itself would be nice instead of just within the Mushroom Kingdom area. I think that'd be pretty cool. Kind of, I guess, a kiddie coaster for Kirby, and you can theme it to, Kirby's Star Ride. You can do something like that. I guess if I were to do the motion simulator thing to, let's say, replace Simpsons Ride or something like that, I probably would do Kid Icarus, or actually, no, Star Fox, I take that back. I think Star Fox would be good for that. They could do, like, I was trying to think of something for Kid Icarus, and then I started thinking about Splatoon. Splatoon, they could... It'd probably work better as the kid area than, like, those plans that had Kirby as it, because, you don't have to dye the water in a sense, but you can just make that a water playland and, still, hey, this is ink, turf war, stuff like that. They can do that. There's just a whole bunch of things they can do. I'm trying to recall, because a long time ago when Super Nintendo World was first announced or teased, I had a top 5 video, and I can't remember the things I said in that. That was before even any rides were really announced besides the obvious Mario Kart. Yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head right now. Maybe I should have prepared for this a little bit more, but there's just a whole bunch of stuff you could think of. Like, if you envision a ride concept and then you just place a Nintendo property on it, you try to see what would probably match the best. That's just the hard part, because there's so many Nintendo properties they could use. Heck, they could even just replicate Mario Kart and put F-Zero on it. I know they wouldn't ever do that because F-Zero is a dead franchise, but, there's so many different things that you can do with future rides. It's actually ridiculous.
So I have several ideas for rides, and I'll try not to go on for too long. So, I've already sort of told you beforehand that I made a list, but I have several ideas. The first one is a Zelda Coaster. Now, realistically, if they do one of these things, it's probably going to be like a lighthearted one for families. But I don't care. I want a really intense roller coaster themed for Legend of Zelda. I don't know what theme they could do for the attraction, maybe like a Loft Wing or the Spirit Tracks train or something like that. But the basic idea is I want to be able to ride a roller coaster across Hyrule and have the climax of the ride be something along the lines of Expedition Everest, where like a giant animatronic beast cannon like reaches for the train. That would be so cool if they did that. And hearing the Zelda music on that, oh, that'd be so cool. The next one, are you familiar with the extraterrestrial alien encounter?
The Men in Black ride? Yes, I am.
No, the one that they had at Magic Kingdom that got replaced by Stitch's Greatest Escape.
Oh, no. I just know it was an alien show.
Alright, so basically how that ride worked was that it was a theater where it was like a giant circle shaped and everybody was pointing at this alien animatronic in the middle of the show. So I'm thinking something like that, but Metroid. I want a Metroid encounter. So everybody's sitting down and they're watching a Metroid being experimented on. But then all of a sudden, you hear Ridley in the background screeching. You hear people running for their lives in the background as the lights go dark. And oh man, that would be so cool if they did that. And then the ride ends with the Metroid capsule being broken. And you see Samus escorting everybody out of the building because Ridley's running amok and things like that. They need to do this.
That actually does sound really cool.
I put a lot of thought into these, so yeah, I apologize if I go off on tangents for a bit. Anyway, yeah, I agree. I think a Pikmin Dark ride would be pretty cool as well. I don't have much to say about that you didn't already say. A Splatoon coaster would also be pretty neat, although if they are going to make a Splatoon ride, it's probably going to be something related to Turf War. Like maybe you'll have different teams on each side of a small stadium area with AR glasses, spraying turf across the ground, things like that. I would love something related to Splatoon. Maybe they could do recreation of Wahoo World. Doubt it, but that'd be cool. They could have a Luigi's Mansion Dark ride, similar to the Haunted Mansion, but themed for Luigi's Mansion. They could have... okay, in my notes, all I wrote was Xenoblade. I don't remember what I was thinking at the top of my head when I was writing this, but I wanted a Xenoblade ride as well. But the big one that I would absolutely love to see, I would love to see a Muppet Vision style movie themed for Super Smash Bros. So it wouldn't exactly be like Subspace Emissary or Ward of Light or anything like that. It would be like a simple original movie for this attraction that just basically merges most of the characters together. It probably wouldn't have as big of a roster as like Smash Ultimate. Maybe they would just cut it down to the original 12 or something like that. But Smash Vision 3D has to happen. That's pretty much everything that I wrote down for attraction ideas. Of course, now that I say that, I'm getting like a bunch more ideas, but I don't want this discussion to go on for too long, so maybe I'll do a top 5 video like you did. But anyway, did you have any other attraction ideas you wanted to discuss before we move on?
I want to make a couple comments about some of your ones. So there was a rumor of a Smash stage show in like the front part of the Epic Universe area, because there's just like an extra building attached to near Nintendo World that nobody knows what it is, and there were rumors it might be a Smash like stage show, kind of akin to the new Born Stuntacular, where it'd be some live sets, some background stuff, so that'd be kind of cool. And then what was the one? The Zelda Coaster, where you mentioned exploring through Hyrule on like whatever, like a train. You basically described a hybrid of not only Expedition Everest, like you mentioned at the end for like a big Ganon animatronic, but you also basically described Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Adventure for the first part. So it'd basically be a hybrid of those for your Zelda Coaster, I guess.
Well, you know, they also have that one Avatar Coaster, where you're like riding on one of those bird things. That could be a great basis to make a Loftwing attraction.
I thought it was just a simulator ride, not a coaster.
I don't know what it is. I've never been there.
I think it's only a simulator ride.
Why must you crush my dreams? Yeah, the final question. Do you have any final thoughts before we finish this discussion?
Like I said at the very beginning, I'm surprised it took so long to do one of these. I'm super excited for Super Nintendo World. I think Japan has announced they're gonna allow foreign visitors starting at the end of January, so that'll be perfect for like gaming journalists and stuff to go over there, obviously very safely due to current events. But I just can't wait. I hope it's true that the Hollywood one at least opens up at the end of 2021, early 2022. I hope Epic Universe starts construction soon. That way it could open in 2023 or 2024. And I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to experience Super Nintendo World. Ever since it was announced, I've just been ready to immerse myself, and it feels so close but so far. I just can't wait. I'm so excited.
James, can we go to Nintendo World?
Only if you're a good boy.
Yay! Wait, I'm never good.
Well, sucks for you.
So, a couple final thoughts I have. This is going to be a huge hotspot for Pokemon Go. People are going to be playing Pokemon Go at Super Nintendo World. It's going to be a massive place. You're going to see gyms changing all the time over there. It's going to be a mess, but it's going to be awesome. And why couldn't they have opened this sooner so that it would have been a perfect Street Pass hotspot too? Like, Street Pass is still somewhat of a common thing, but only for people who are crazy like me who still take the 3DS out, but this would have been perfect for Street Pass and all that good stuff. And yeah, this is pretty much all I have to say. I'm really wish that they had Nintendo World sooner, and I'm kind of surprised that it took this long as well. I'm surprised, just like you, that it took so long, because it seems like pretty much everything in Japan gets a theme park at some point. Because like you even have a Hello Kitty theme park in Japan, so I'm kind of surprised that it took Nintendo this long to make one. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm definitely going to vlog myself there when I actually do get the chance to go to Super Nintendo World. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to give Mario a high five. I'm going to ride Mario Kart. I'm going to beg for a Zelda Coaster. But yeah, that's basically everything I have to say. So it's your outro. So hurry up so I can stop talking. Because I can go on for hours about this.
Wasn't there a question about costume characters in the land?
No, but what do you think of the costume characters?
I love them. You've seen the Toad one, right?
Yeah.
Toad is so great. I think there's a Daisy one near the Mario Kart attraction, but nobody's shown her yet. So that's a little worrying. Maybe there isn't after all, but yeah, they all look great. I love the new technology they're using for Mario and Luigi, at least so far just them that we know of, where they'll be able to have their actual voices and they can blink. It's gonna be super cool. And the Peach one looks great too. Toad is adorable. He's such a little big chungus. I love him so much. And yeah, they're just really cool. I like it.
It kind of strikes me funny that so many people are talking about how impressive the costume characters are. Like, they are certainly really impressive. It makes me really happy to see them. But their ability to like blink and actually say things, that's been a common thing for Disney costume characters for like a couple years at this point. I don't know how many Universal characters do that, but yeah, they all look really incredible. I really hope there's one for Captain Toad, because Captain Toad is adorable.
No, you will just have your Captain Toad animatronic in the Yoshi ride and you will like it.
No. Oh, right.
I mean,
wait.
What?
What if they have a treasure tracker ride?
I mean, it's basically Yoshi plus Captain Toad for Yoshi's Adventure, because Captain Toad is basically leading the Omni-Mover Yoshis along the path. There's also going to be Baby Yoshi animatronics on that ride, and I'm super excited.
Oh, that's cute!
And I think a Poochie animatronic also.
Oh, that's cute!
Anyway, Gator's cute gasming, but that is going to do it for this discussion on Super Nintendo World. My name has been TheJamesRolls.
I'm Lady Gear to you.
And until the next one, whenever we do another one of these discussion videos, whether it's for Super Nintendo World again or who the hell knows, catch you later.
Catch you later. Pokemon. Nintendo World.
You're not funny.
Oh.